quick. The NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by our free bracket challenge, $2,000 winner take all. Enter today at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bracket. Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of the NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. No me, no the voice, no the guy, it's me, Terrell Furman Jr. here at your service. All right. We are rolling over here in the NBA. Things are picking up. Things are getting hot. Probably in the worst time because now it's March and now we are the afterthought to what everybody has going on this month. Doesn't mean things are slowing down here. We're about to get into the NBA action. I have my co-host who had a horrible bet on that. It just turned out horribly. Partially, you could say was the reason of North Carolina. But also, it's really the committee because why are the committees so stuck on North Carolina this year? Scott Reichel. Scott, what's going on?
Scotty, beat me up.
Surprise.
Yeah, the bet you're referring to is I ended up betting Xavier yesterday to miss the tournament. And I figured after North Carolina and Texas got in, I think Texas and North Carolina were each like 3-1 to get into the tournament. I thought I was set, to be honest. They announced the first play-in game. It's like, all right, not Xavier. I'm like, all right, great. So there's only 2 teams left. Indiana hasn't been called yet. And I figured, okay, I got a decent shot at it. Apparently, I wasn't even close because Xavier was like the 3rd team from being eliminated. So, yeah, whatever. It is what it is. Xavier was really bad in quad 1 games. They lost to Georgetown. I thought I had a better shot than that. So, no, Apparently it was just false hope. But either way, I know everyone's talking about the bracket. It's fine. We still got NBA games to cover. Of course, a reminder that the first 4 games do start not even tonight. So if you want some basketball, you got like no college on tonight. So you might as well watch the NBA, right?
No, for real. You might as well lock into the NBA and just see what's going on. Dip your toe in the water. If you're like me, then you're one of those people that says, hey, if I hit on NBA tonight, I have even more to bet on college tomorrow. So why not? All right. Let's go ahead and get into a rather large NBA slate for today. 7:30 p.m. on the East Coast, we got the Miami Heat going to play the New York Knicks. Knicks are laying 7.5 at home. 209 is the total in this one. Injury report, we've got Wiggs is out. Or no, questionable. I'm sorry. Questionable with the lower leg injury. We got Burks and Jovic who are out. Brunson is out. All right. I mean, it's easy for me. Maybe you do something different, but I got Miami catching 7.5 here. This is going to be Miami yet again. Play a close game. Maybe they actually beat the Knicks this time around because the Knicks don't have Brunson, and that would hurt them late game. But there's also a good chance that Miami probably just blows this game late. Give me Miami plus points.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to go with the simple approach. Give me the Knicks fourth quarter, whatever the spread is for that one. I don't think that the Heat have any, I'd say, sense of intelligence in the fourth quarter. They are one of the worst fourth quarter teams I've ever seen. And the Knicks fourth quarter money line's minus 130 on the 3-way line. Like, sure. The Heat get killed in every fourth quarter. I'm not really going to overthink this. Give me the Knicks to potentially struggle early, maybe come back. But Miami's been getting buried in the fourth quarter for the last couple months at this point. Give me the Knicks fourth quarter on the money line at minus 130.
Both of these two teams have been struggling to score the basketball recently, too. I mean, last 5 games, Heat are averaging 99.4 points per game.
It's disgusting.
109 for the New York Knicks. Knicks are 27th in NBA. Heat are 30th. Really,
and even the Knicks, though, like you played the Warriors, you lost a close game. Golden State's been on fire lately. I can't really roast you too badly for that. You fought, you covered, you didn't win.
And this is a Knicks first home game since the long West Coast road trip. Yeah, Miami plus points. All right. Before we get to the next game up, gotta remind everybody to compete against us in this contest this month, giving away $75,000 in a winner-take-all basketball survivor contest. March has never been this more exciting. Enter at splashsports.com/SGPN. That's splashsports.com/SGPN. All right. Next game up, we've got the Houston Rockets. Oh, wow. We got the Houston Rockets at home welcoming the Philadelphia 76ers. 76ers are catching 15.5 points on the road here. 222.5 is the total. Long injury report here for Philly coming off of the back-to-back against Dallas, where they did get the win on the road. Now they're playing Houston. You got Amen Thompson and Reed Shepherd both out for Houston. Everybody else looks good to go. Is there any chance that Philadelphia is competitive in this game, Scott, or are we playing the drop?
I mean, you can make the argument that Houston might just mess around, but do I want to take the Sixers? No. They beat a Mavericks team yesterday that was rumored to forfeit games. Does that count? I don't think the Sixers are worth a damn, but you could argue in the NBA, 15.5 is a lot of points. So the question is, do you think Houston's actually going to care enough to show up for – do you think they need all 4 quarters, or do you think they can show up for 3 and still cover this?
I think they could potentially still show up for 3 and still cover.
That's kind of where I'm at. They play Orlando on the road next game on Wednesday, so it's not really a look-ahead spot. Houston's also been really good. They have won 6 straight. I feel like people haven't really talked about that. Now, they haven't played any good teams. Beat New Orleans twice, beat Orlando. Good win by Orlando yesterday. Shout out to them. Beat Phoenix, beat Dallas, and Chicago. So, yes, they have a winning streak, but it's not really against anybody worth a damn. I think it's going to be close, but I guess I'm going to play the drop because I really don't want to take the Sixers, who I think are a glorified G League team at this point. Are we sure that Grimes and company are even going to play in this game? Because Philly seems incentivized to be tanking, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't play well. You look at what they've done on the second leg of a back-to-back just after the All-Star break, 0-2 straight up, 1-1 against the spread. The over has come in both of those games. I think the same thing. We're going to see a bunch of points here by the Rockets on the Rockets side of the ball, and they could be so locked in defensively that it doesn't even matter. Like, this could easily balloon up to a 20-25 point lead. Over the course of this season, the 76ers are 4-6 ATS as a 10-point dog. The Rockets are 5-3. I'm going to go with the Rockets side of this. You can play it. All right. Let's see here. We got the Indiana Pacers going on the road to play the Minnesota Timberwolves. Timberwolves are laying 7.5 at home. 228.5 is the total injury report. And we've got Furpy is a questionable. He's on the sick report. We always get at least one. Johnny Furpy on the sick report. He's questionable. We got Halliburton questionable with the lower back injury. Neesmith is questionable with a left ankle injury. We've got Miles Turner questionable with a left hip contusion. And we got Pascal Siakam, who is out of this game due to personal reasons. Mike Conley, the only thing on the Minnesota side of the ball, he was ruled out yesterday's game against Utah. We'll see if he's able to play here on the second night of back-to-back. And more than likely, he's probably going to play because he didn't play in that first game. So we might see some Mike Conley here in this game. All right. Does Indiana stay in it?
I mean, I do think Siakam being out's a big deal. I mean, Siakam's been one of the best players all season. Minnesota's been a very hot team in the Western Conference. They've been as hot as the Warriors. Like, they've been keeping pace. So I'm not going to overreact to beating Utah because Utah is getting fined by tanking too hard. But I do think that you're looking at Minnesota being the better team. The problem is Conley's actually been really good. And I thought Conley was basically washed, and then he turned into basically a mid-40% three-point shooter over the last couple weeks. So I think that's actually a big deal. The question is, do I think Indiana without Siakam can do enough offensively or even defensively to keep this game close on the road? I am a bit skeptical on that. I think I am going to go with Minnesota, who've won 8 in a row. They've been really, really good. You can argue maybe the under's worth a look because Minnesota's defense has been solid, but I know Indiana does like to play fast. I'm just going to go with Minnesota. I'll back the hot team. Indiana, we saw kind of a step-up game there against Milwaukee, and they really didn't look that great. They lost by 7. I just think Siakam being out is just a massive loss for this team because Siakam was playing very good basketball recently. Siakam, for example, in that last couple games, 25 points, 27 points, 26 points. Like, he's been really good, and he's not available. That's a big loss. I'm going to go with the Timberwolves. I think they can throw enough bodies at Halliburton to make him uncomfortable. And you're trying to think of, like, secondary scoring options or ball handlers that the Pacers have. What do they really have? Because I feel like it's Halliburton or bust in this case, and I'm not really sold on that idea against this defense. So I'll go with Minnesota, minus a 7.5. You?
Yeah, Minnesota's defense been really good, but these totals are still going over, especially on the second leg of a back-to-back. So since the All-Star break, they've had 3 back-to-backs. On the second leg of all those back-to-backs, all 3 of those games have gone over. Minnesota's 8-4 to the over since the break. So maybe this is a little bit more, and it's a lot of Minnesota doing the scoring in majority of these games rather than the other teams. So their team total has just pulled a lot of these games up. Let's see. Yeah, over the course of the entire season, 8-4 to the over, 9-3 to the opponent's team total, 8-4 to their own. Yeah, it looks like over is really, really good on Minnesota Timberwolves second leg to a back-to-back. Hey, you're getting a little bit of a discount here with the line going down. I would probably play this one way. It would be Minnesota team total over, and just say that I'm gonna fade the Pacers defense yet again. Minnesota's been really, really good scoring the basketball, scoring about 120 points per game ever since the All-Star break. Like you said, hottest team in basketball, and it's because they've continued to play a very, very solid level of defense while also upgrading the scoring with Dante DiVincenzo and Julius Randle coming back. So, yeah, I like the team total over Minnesota. I like Minnesota laying 7.5.
Yeah,
Probably the best part. Probably the only part about that I'll go with, though.
I'm with you on both.
All right. Let's get to the next game of slate. We got the Detroit Pistons on the road going to play the New Orleans Pelicans. Pelicans are catching 7.5 at home. This was 6.5 last night. 232.5 is the total. That actually went up half a point as well. Let's see. There we go. Nothing to report for the Detroit Pistons. For the Pelicans, we got Zion, who is questionable due to personal reasons. Olynyk is questionable due to a finger. And we got Misi, who is questionable with an ankle injury. And Brandon Boston's out.
I mean, I can't take New Orleans without knowing if Zion's playing or not, right?
Yeah, I think that's also really. I think New Orleans is actually kind of interesting if Zion plays. They've been good at home and competitive in the game.
They also showed that game against Orlando, but Orlando also just beat Cleveland, so maybe Orlando's starting to figure some stuff out. But
yeah,
I mean, without Zion, I don't like really much of this team. I think Murphy's fun. I think that McCollum is, he is what he is. But Zion has been very, very good for that team since he has been healthy. But the point is with Zion, I know that this is personal reasons, but the main question is availability. And when he does not play, this team is particularly awful. So the Pistons haven't played since the Shea situation, since the outburst by Bickerstaff, right?
Yeah.
Did they just get a big whistle tonight?
Potentially.
That's kind of my concern. The overcorrection after you call it the officials, it is a possibility for this game. So
yeah, give me Pistons. Lay the points. They're just the better team, and we rarely see the Pistons lose to bad teams like this. It has to be like one of those back-to-back games like they had against Washington where they dominate the first one and just no-showed the second one. But like whenever they play anybody that's remotely near them in terms of skill, they've kind of sometimes beat their ass. Other times they just comfortably won the game.
Yeah.
But it's when they play the good teams that's when they start taking L's.
And to be fair to the Wizards, they did beat the Nuggets over the weekend. So maybe that loss isn't as terrible.
It doesn't look as bad anymore.
I guess. I mean, the point I'm trying to say is I think Detroit's better than this team. If Zion does not play, Cade's the best player on the court by a mile. Like, it's not even close. So give me the Pistons to get a good whistle. Cade got ejected last game. Maybe he has a master class. We'll see what happens. But
Yeah.
New Orleans got blown up by like 30 against Orlando at home last time
Yeah.
out. Oh, that was pretty rough.
They could lose by 10 here.
They really can. I'll go with Detroit to bounce back. I mean, they lost to the Thunder and Cade got ejected, but it is a pretty good spot for a pissed off Cade to drop like a 30-point triple double. Like that is a possibility for this game. So give me the Pistons.
All right.
Pistons team total over, I guess, or maybe Pelicans team total under, assuming Zion doesn't play.
Oh yeah. Either way, either one of those is good with me. If Zion doesn't play, then team total under. But I think I would rather go Pistons team total over and just say they're able to score the basketball.
Yeah.
I'm always good fate in New Orleans defensively, especially if those bigs are out. If those bigs are out, there's no. I mean, it was a lack of rim protection, but there's really no rim protection if the bigs are out. All right. Time to talk to you about DraftKings Sportsbook when it comes to college basketball and a March Madness. One thing is for certain, that nothing's for certain. You get all of it. You get the craziness. You get the cardiac kimba. You get all of those moments. So, first time over there at DraftKings Sportsbook, you can bet $5, get $200 in bonus bets instantly over there at DraftKings Sportsbook. Scott, what's your favorite March Madness bet thus far? Since you've been looking at the board, I know you have.
Are you talking about futures? Or are you talking about a straight bet?
Yeah, the first round. Let's just go first round bet. What are we doing this week? I for one, really find it hard to believe that Georgia's going to keep it within 2 possessions of Gonzaga.
I'm on the same page as you.
Yeah, Gonzaga's like a top 10 team in the league, man. And
I think
Georgia sucks.
I think one of my favorite bets so far is St. Mary's. Laying 4.5 against. We're actually coincidentally in the same conference here. Vandy's been horrible lately. They haven't won since March 1st. And St. Mary's, they lost to Gonzaga the 3rd time around. They beat them the first 2 times. Yeah. I think St. Mary's is actually very good. So I like St. Mary's to cover 4.5 against Vandy.
Shout out to Adam. Wait, not Adam, but Aaron. Shout out to Aaron of one of the not many takes that, that's the take that they got all the swords, that meme with all the swords pointing at you, and they're like, what's this take? Fuck the turn and give me Bulls Jazz.
Yeah.
All right, man. Go over there and hop into DraftKings Sportsbook. Bet the unexpected with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code SGP. That is code SGP for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPENY or text HOPENY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
I don't think people watched Georgia play. Oh, they couldn't have been watching Georgia play all year. Georgia really struggles to score the basketball, man.
Really. Yeah, it's SEC bias when you get 14 teams into the tournament.
Yo, it was, but I feel like fading. I have to go back and look at the actual numbers, but I feel like fading the conference that gets the most teams in is normally a good thing in the tournament, because there was one year that the Big Ten got.
It's always the Big Ten. I don't know if it's about the team of those conferences or it's the Big Ten. That's the problem. The Big Ten always
because there was a Big 12. There was a Big 12 year too, because I remember I was giving Moneyline Mac hell. There was a Big 12 year too, but the Big Ten, yeah, it was one year
usually
that
the Big Ten.
They all went out like the first round. It was really
and funny. Michigan wins the tournament this year, and they're favored by 2.5 against UC San Diego. Like, I don't know if the conference is any good. We have the same issue every year with the Big Ten. But
oh, dude, they might lose that game too.
They might. It's an interesting matchup there. I think you have another read to do, though.
Oh, I do.
Do you have another read?
Oh, yeah, I definitely do. I definitely do. Because, well, you should do the read. You're the one going to the Rhythm March Madness party this week. Wednesday, Scott will be there. He will be paying for drinks. You just have to go annoy Scott by dragging him to the bar and get the drink with you. Mm-hmm. And then he'll probably be blackout drunk because he'll probably order a drink while he gets somebody else a drink. $250 March Madness future up for grabs as well for one random lucky Rhythm user. Even if you can't make the party, you can still get the future. Make sure you create an account at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. 7-day free trial. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. And then more details about the party at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/party. All right. Now we're done and we're on to the next game of the slate here. We've got all right, he asked for it. Chicago Bulls on the road going to play the Utah Jazz. Bulls are laying 5.5 here on the road. Total is set at 240.5. Injury report here. And we've got Kobe White is probable for this game. We've got Josh Giddey, who is doubtful. And we've got Lonzo Ball, who is out with a right wrist sprain. No timetable for return. Utah played yesterday. I know because I bet them on the over, and it just barely didn't come in. So, probably going to go back to the over in this game. Not seeing the level of the defense, and Giddey just brings length, but Lonzo Ball is actually a really good perimeter defender for them, so that's going to hurt. Well, first, let's start with this.
Play that the Bulls are a playing team. They're playing postseason basketball in Chicago.
I keep forgetting that every time that I'm like, oh yeah, this Bulls team is competing in the play.
Eastern Conference, like nobody cares besides Toronto apparently. But the
Dog,
Nets,
you know they're 11 games under 500.
I know they're 11 games under, but the Sixers are tanking. The Nets have been really bad. Toronto's actually trying, but I think Toronto's too far back. But yeah, Chicago's going to get him by default. That's kind of the point.
Oh man, I mean, I was right about some things in the beginning of the season. I was wrong about other things in the beginning of the season. One thing I was not wrong about: there are a lot of bad teams in the NBA.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to get worse because you still have about a month. Once Cooper Flag starts playing NCAA tournament games, you might see some teams ramp it up a bit. You know what I mean? Just saying.
Dude.
Cooper Flag leads Duke to the Final Four, drops 20 and 15, and out of nowhere, Utah's like, "Wow, Lauri Markkanen, you're never playing for the rest of the season." You know what I mean? You might see a couple of initial reactions there, but I can't take Utah. I don't know who's going to play for this team. They've been messing with Lauri's minutes. They got fined for it. Then they benched him in the entire second half the other day. They're making a mockery of the entire anti-tanking process for the NBA. I think Danny Ainge is just trying to poke the bear in the NBA and seeing what he can get away with. I never know who's playing for Utah.
Because nobody's paying attention to Utah when you're
Correct.
doing stuff like that. Nobody's going to the games and oh man, I really hope to see Lauri Markkanen today, unless they live in Utah. All right, man, whatever. Give me Chicago laying 5.5.
Problem is, you look at the line of 5.5, and suddenly it's 7 o'clock, and it's like, wait a second, Lauri's questionable. Collins is that. They're like, all right, here we go again. You just don't know who's playing for them on a game in, game out basis. The Bulls, I know they're dealing with some injuries. At least they care, I guess. That counts for something. They've shown a lot of pride. I'll give Chicago props for that. Now, I know the fans wanted them to tank because the team's not any good, and they're probably going to lose immediately in the play-in tournament. But the point is, at least Chicago, for the guys they have, they play hard. That counts for something when you're against bad teams. I'll take Chicago minus 5.5. For the over, though.
Yeah, what's up with the influx of Chicago Bulls fans in the chat right now? JT's in the chat, Bear Commander's in the chat. What's going on?
I think we're the only show that actually is willing to talk about the Bulls. I think that's why they show up.
Nobody else is
Nobody else does.
They skip the game with the.
Well, I know that I know Kenny is a Bulls fan, so I know that he's a pretty popular NBA guy. But
okay.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm saying that's one of the only Bulls people in the media that actually talk about them. So I know we do a lot too. So there you go. Plus, they're also the games are fun because a lot of their games are high scoring and they find a way to be competitive. So
yeah, they'll for some reason beat the Celtics every now and then.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see. Next game up. The Toronto Raptors. God, I would love to play a drop for the Phoenix Suns. They are just a bad basketball team. Toronto Raptors on the road going to play the Phoenix Suns. Suns are laying 8.5. 227.5 is total.
Let's see.
We got, where are they? There they are. So we have the Raptors who are on a back-to-back, and then we have the Suns who are also on a back-to-back. So when you have the Suns on a back-to-back, Scott, you know that we go back to our trusty trend here of fading the Suns on a back-to-back to the opponent's team total. That number for the season has now become, 10-4. 10-4 are the Suns to the opponent's team total this season when they are on the second leg of a back-to-back. Raptors are actually 7-3-1. So big numbers to the over for the game today. But that's how I'm going to be playing it first and foremost. What do you like here?
Yeah, main message here is to Kevin Durant.
You need to leave.
Like, listen, this team is just awful, man. Like, this team is so bad. Played the Lakers. I know Luka came back and Luka owns the franchise, but damn, you no-showed that entire game. Yeah, the Suns are just a joke. There's really nothing else to add. They're laying 8.5. Are you serious? Like, Toronto's been competitive. I know Toronto lost yesterday to Portland, but Toronto's a team that I will give props to because they have a lot of guys on that team that just play with heart, and the Suns have none of those guys. The Suns just go through the motions and try to coast on talent, and they lose all the time. Laying 8.5 for 9, there's a 0% chance I would do that. I think Toronto can win this game. We saw the Suns lose at home to New Orleans a couple weeks ago, and they were laying a big number on that too.
They lost this game to Toronto in Toronto.
Yeah, give me Toronto. Fun fact, by the way, if you want to go back a couple years, Toronto has covered this exact spread in 15 straight head-to-head meetings.
Against the Suns? No
15
way.
15 straight against the Suns. I looked it up last night. 15 straight. Give me Toronto. Quickly did not play yesterday. He was being rested for a back-to-back. So he should be back in the lineup for this one.
The Suns have been good for a couple years now.
I know. Toronto's been competitive, I guess, against this team. I don't know why. But the point is that Quickly should be back for this game. Baird's battling an illness, so maybe he'll play. And I think Barnes played like 24 minutes last night, so maybe he'll play too. But why the hell would I lay multiple possessions with the Suns when they can barely win games? This team stinks. At least Toronto's happy to be playing basketball. The Suns want the season to end. I wonder if Durant already listed his house in Phoenix yet. It wouldn't shock me if he did. Point is, give me the Raptors plus the 8.5. I think they could actually win the game.
Yeah, Raptors team total over 110.5. Clear. That's probably going to be the lock today. Raptors team total over 110.5. I don't. The Phoenix Suns can't play any form of defense at all.
Yeah. And I see True, I was mentioning that Toronto did end up benching some of the starters, to at the end of the game. The point is they were still competitive. They lost to Portland by 3. Like, they just have a lot of guys that
they benched the game and still lost by
They play hard, and they have honestly their bench is not that bad. Their bench, like, of course, if you were looking at a playoff team, is not very good, but for a team that's going to be a borderline tanking team entering preseason with all the injuries they've had, they have a couple guys there that play hard. Like, I feel like a lot of it's effort-based, and Phoenix, when things go poorly, they completely unravel as soon as possible. Give me Toronto plus the points. I agree with you about the team total over.
Toronto should have the same record as Utah, but they don't because they have a better team.
Yeah. Shout out to Brandon Ingram, by the way, who signed extension and never played.
Yep, and probably won't play.
Probably.
Let's see here. Let's get into the next matchup. We got the Memphis Grizzlies on the road going to play the Sacramento Kings. Kings are laying 2.5. 237.5 is total. Injury report. And we've got... Let's see. Scottie Pippen Jr. is questionable with the wrist injury. We got Santi Aldama's doubtful. We got Jaws out. And Trey Lyles is a questionable with the back injury for the Kings. So I'm assuming because Jaws out and the doubtful on Santi Aldama, who at one point was making a case for 6th player of the year.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably why this is now 2.5 Kings.
Kings are also 2-0. Kings won the most recent meeting back in January by 5. But, yeah, the Kings have also been really bad. Kings have lost 4 in a row. So... Yep. Question is, do you want to take Memphis? Because we know how deep this team can be, and we know the Kings defensively have been a laughingstock lately, giving up 122 to Phoenix, 130 to the Warriors, 133 to the Knicks. They've lost 3 straight by 16-plus points. I don't want to lay this with Sacramento. I think it's actually Grizzlies or pass for me, because the Kings are just not even trying to guard anybody. I really don't mind the over in this game. Maybe even Grizzlies team total over. I know that they're a bit shorthanded, but the Kings aren't even close to guarding people at this point. I can't lay 2.5 the team that doesn't play defense.
And it's very concerning because Memphis has allowed teams to be able to score with them. So there's a possibility that the scoring doesn't matter and Sacramento puts up a high total. Sabonis looks like he's coming back in this game.
Well, he had a triple-double against the Suns last game. So.
Yeah. So
By the way, the last
probably
game,
still a good Sabonis game. Yeah.
last game in January landed 271.
Yeah,
So.
it's over, and Jesus Christ, 4-game losing streak. It's got to end, Scott. Give me the Kings.
Okay. I just don't want to back a team that's been getting killed recently.
Memphis 2-8 in their last 10 games against the spread. I mean, they've been winning games, but it hasn't been pretty.
No,
it hasn't been pretty. They let a Kings team that shouldn't hang around, and they take an L.
Okay.
All right, that was a tough one. I'm not gonna lie. I don't feel the best about that.
I prefer the over, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't feel the best about that. But all right, let's see here. Underdog Fantasy Pick'em. You can lock in college basketball over the course of this March Madness as well, and get a bunch of higher lowers on fantasy players. Cam Jones, big guy for Marquette, think he's going to have a good one. Curtis Jones over there in Iowa State, probably going to be really good too. So just think of the names. My guy Max Sugar for VCU. Yeah, I think he's going to have a good game against BYU. So it's a bunch of options there over there. Make sure you lock in. NBA SGPN is that promo code for a special pick and first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. That's underdogfantasy.com, promo code NBA SGPN. We're also brought to you by Edge Boost, the premier Visa debit card for sports bettors. You can earn up to $750 per month in cashback rewards, and you don't have to worry about the hassle of having your card denied at the sportsbook or just giving them your information. You can use your Edge Boost card instead. So you know your money is safe because they're FDIC insured. No credit checks and completely free. Sign up today for Edge Boost and enter our free $2,000 bracket contest at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bracket. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bracket. All right, let's move on to Denver. On the road, going to play the Golden State Warriors. Warriors are laying 4.5. 236.5 is total. All right, injury report. We've got Christian Braun, probable for this game with the foot injury. We got Aaron Gordon, who is questionable. We got Jokic, who is questionable. We got Jamal Murray, who is questionable. And we got on the other side of the ball, we got Steph, who is questionable. We got Pajewski, who is out. And Post, their big, is questionable.
This game perfectly sums up why people are pissed at the NBA. You get yourself a pretty good game, and it's like, oh, I don't know who's playing. Joker going to play? We'll see. Is Steph going to play? I don't know. It's like, how are you supposed to get excited about this game if you don't know who's going to be there? But I'm going to ask you, because Denver's a team that I've been lower on than most people. They barely beat Austin Reeves and the G League team. They lost to the Wizards on that Jordan Poole 35-footer. I feel like Golden State right now is playing better basketball, but they need Steph to play, obviously. So let's assume for the sake of convenience that all three, Joker, Jamal Murray, and Steph all play in this game. Let's assume relative full strength for both teams. Denver getting 4.5 honestly feels a bit disrespectful. I get Golden State being at home, and I get with Jimmy Butler, they've been insane. 4.5, though, does feel like a lot for a Denver team, assuming that everyone's going to be playing in this game. So based on that, I'll go Golden State 1-10 in this game. I will pick them at home based on current form, but I think the game's close either way. So give me Golden State to win 1-10, assuming that all the star players are playing. What do you think?
Is there a chance that Denver takes this from them in the fourth quarter? I don't think so. It is possible, but I don't think so. I think that's the one aspect of this is who wins that fourth quarter when we get to it, because I think Jokic could be very dominant in the fourth quarter, but ultimately, who's going to get stops for Denver? I think that's the issue. Denver struggles to get stops when they need them.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's fine. Huh?
What'd they give up against the Wizards again?
126, was it?
That's just so bad.
Yep,
Yeah,
126. Yeah,
it's just so bad. Yeah,
yeah, it's
but
really horrible. Champagne looked good, like,
they gave up 126 to Reeves and the G League Lakers. Like that's
and I
so
think what
bad.
Sar had 34.
Yeah. Sar at 34. I've been roasting Sar for months. He had a great game yesterday. He had a great game, though, against the Nuggets. But you get what I'm trying to say, though. I mean, Golden State defensively has been fantastic. That's really the main difference between these teams right now is that Golden State can really clamp down and the Nuggets really can't. But yes, you're right. Joker late in games has killed the Warriors historically because they can't guard the guy, which is a problem. I see a close game either way, so
Yeah,
I'll go
give
with
me
the
the
Warriors
Warriors.
1-10.
Yeah, I'm with you. Warriors 1-10 feels like a good play. I think they get it done. Nice plus money value there.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep it going.
I think we got 2 games
Actually,
left.
but wait, I will say this. I think that total is too high at 236.5.
I agree with you. Yeah.
I think that's too high. Even though Denver could 100% give up 120 plus points again. The
You can
Warriors
argue,
aren't.
yeah.
The Warriors aren't going to do that if they don't need to.
You can argue Denver team total under if you think that there's a chance Murray sits or Joker sits, or you just have complete faith in this Warriors defense.
Yeah.
That's an option too.
Yeah. Interesting. I like that point too. All right. What's the number on that? 116.5.
I mean, against this Golden State defense recently, like I understand it's intimidating because Joker could just have an insane game, but I mean, Golden State defensively has been that good. 116.5 is a pretty high number against this team.
94 to the Knicks, 104 to the Kings recently. They gave it 120 to Portland and then 110 to Detroit. Yeah. But like the game against Portland that they gave up 120, they were 12.5-point favorites. Game against Brooklyn when they gave up 119, they were 11-point favorites. Like in a close game, no, I think that they're gonna play. Yeah, I like that. Under 116.5 for Denver.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Another one of my favorite plays of the day. Wizards are going on the road to go play the Portland Trailblazers. Trailblazers are laying 5.5. 231 is the total. Injury report here, and we've got Jabari Walker out with a concussion for the game yesterday, so he's more than likely not playing. We'll see about the rest of the injury report for the Portland Trailblazers. For the Pistons, we got Marcus Smart, who is questionable on the sick report. No Brogdon, no Corey Kispert. Ruled out with a thumb injury in that win against Denver. I mean, if I was already fading the Wizards coming off of the win against Denver, to find out that they're now down Kispert, who is a really good bench piece for them as well, against a Portland team that is hot right now, and they need every single... Like, Portland is really looking at the standings and like, I mean, if all these teams at the top of us just keep bullshitting around, we might end up in the play-in, so let's keep trying to win games here. And they're laying less than 2 possessions against this Wizards team at home. And they got Denny Avdija? What? Scott, what am I missing here?
Well, I mean, to kind of play devil's advocate here, the Trailblazers have lost 5 of the last 6, but you read off the competition. They had the crazy Knicks overtime loss where Bridges hit the three-pointer at the buzzer. Played the Warriors, played the Pistons, played the Thunder, played the Celtics. That is not their fault. That is just not their fault on that schedule. That is nuts. They played the Celtics, the Thunder, the Pistons, and the Warriors back to back to back to back. That's really rough. So against bad teams, I think Portland is definitely the better option. The problem is they did have a very close game against Toronto yesterday, and you could argue that Toronto, once again, was kind of benching some guys because all the starters played basically 25 minutes, give or take. So Toronto did kind of pull everybody, and Portland came back after that. The Wizards are off a big win. They've played better lately. Is this team good? Hell no. Like, they're not good at basketball, but they've been playing better lately. Are they going to sit people? They might. You think the Wizards front office was happy they won a game? I don't know. Give me Portland at home -6.5, -5.5. I agree. I think the game might be close for a bit, though. But I do think the Wizards are going to maybe sit some guys for this one. We'll see what happens. But give me Portland -5.5. They've been good against bad teams. They're not great against good teams. Luckily for them, this is the worst team in the league, or one of the worst teams in the league based on record. I think Portland shows up at home. Give me a good Scoot game. I think Scoot's going to have a solid matchup. So I think Portland covers.
Oh, man. Denny Avdija left that game in D.C. early. against the Wizards, and we didn't get the Denny Abdia revenge game.
He played like 7 minutes, I think, and that was just it.
Oh, Scott, he's gonna destroy them today.
I'm also a big Avdia guy because Avdia is, I think, their best player. I think Avdia is really good. He can't really shoot as well as you'd hope he can from the outside, but the guy's really good at getting to the free throw line. The guy's really good at getting to the rim.
Oh my gosh, man! All right, this is the big Avdia game. Let's go. All right, San Antonio Spurs are on the road going to play the Los Angeles Lakers. Lakers are laying 8.5. 229 is the total. Let's see. For the Lakers, we've got them on a back-to-back here, coming off of the win yesterday against, what was that? Against the Suns, of course.
Yep.
And for the San Antonio Spurs, Jordan McLaughlin is questionable. Bassey's out. That's it. All right. I mean, I don't know. San Antonio kind of sucks.
I don't know about kinda. They gave up, 140-something points to Charlotte over the weekend?
Yeah, they did. 145. We were on that, too.
Yeah.
So, I think that was showing me and Lonte, maybe?
I wasn't on that show.
Yeah, me and Lonte.
I did hear you get on that.
Yeah, so... dude.
By the way, separate note, I heard you call me short the other day. on a separate note. I'm like 5'11". I'm not that short. But like, all right.
Oh, man.
I kind of want the over.
I don't want anything to do with the spread, man.
I think I want the over in this game. Like, the Spurs can't defend, but I think offensively they can actually score against this team. Is Luka guaranteed to play the back-to-back?
Maybe, maybe not. Like,
he's
that's
he's not listed on anything.
But like,
it
even if
shock
Luka
me.
doesn't play the back-to-back, what is stopping the Spurs from letting Reeves have like some 30-point triple-double and Reeves carries this team?
It's kind of my point that the Lakers' offense did look good even without Luka against the Nuggets. They lost the game, but I think I just prefer the over. The Spurs aren't guarding anybody. The Lakers defensively, they were good against Phoenix, but I don't think that Phoenix is worth a damn. The Spurs are going to play up tempo. They're not going to guard anybody. I see a track meet. I like the over in this game. I mean, you could see a world where the Lakers score 120, 125 points, right? I mean, that is a possibility here.
Yeah.
So then I think it's over or pass.
Lakers unders have been really good, though. But injuries and yeah. And I'm not gonna think too much into that 96 points to the Suns because the Suns fucking suck. I'm not thinking into that. Yeah, all right, give me over 229. But
I mean, to read off the totals for San Antonio recently, Pelicans landed 234, Hornets landed 279, Mavericks landed 242, Mavericks landed 262, Timberwolves landed 265, Kings landed 236, and Nets landed 240, Thunder landed 278. Grizzlies landed 258. These aren't even close. Like, these numbers aren't even close. I got to assume this game gets into the 230s blindly with the Spurs being involved. Yeah. So, yeah, I'll go with the over in this game.
All right. Give me Lakers laying 8.5.
Okay. I'd rather just take the total.
No, I prefer the total too, just for sakes. I just can't get behind San Antonio right now. And Chris Paul's not going to be motivated. Bron's not even playing in this game. No, you're not getting a motivated Chris Paul in this one. All right.
It might be too cold for the banana boat anyway.
All right. Lock, dog, underdog. Scott, over to you.
All right. A couple things that I was potentially interested in, so I got to figure out what I want to do. Because I actually really do like the Knicks' fourth quarter against Miami blindly. It's minus 130. The question is, do I actually want it?
Without knowing what happened the first three quarters.
I'll tell you what though. There's been a person messaging me. Fantasy Mike, I think. He's been messaging me every game with pictures of fading Miami in the fourth quarter with winning tickets. He's been doing it for like a week and a half, and he's won every time. He just keeps
Shout out
betting.
to him.
Shout out to him. He keeps betting on. He gives me credit for it because I brought it up. But he keeps betting against Miami in the fourth quarter pregame, and he keeps winning. And he just keeps sending me like winning tickets. And I'm like, yeah, I should probably get on that too. You know what? I think I'll actually go with the. I might actually surprise you. I'm going to go with the over in the Spurs and Lakers game as my lock at 228.5. I think the line's too low. The last meeting they faced off back in January before the trade, the Spurs did score 1-26 in that game. I know it's a different team now, but the point is the Lakers, I think, can score. I think that the Spurs defensively, I read off the totals recently. Yeah. They have had so many games that have gone over this number lately. In fact, if you actually wanted to count it up, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, they've had 9 straight games break 230. And this total's at 228.5. I think the total's too low. Give me the over as my lock on that one. And for the dog, what do I want to go with for the dog here? You know what? I'll actually get a bit cute with this because I think that this actually should be a fun game. Give me Toronto money line. Screw it. I'll take Toronto money line at plus about 300. The Suns, really? I said before that the Raptors have covered this line in 15 straight against the Suns. The Suns are a joke. This team's horrible. They're bad on back-to-backs. I can get 3-1 fading this team. That's worth something to me. Give me Toronto money line at plus 300.
All right. I like it. I mean, you're not going to get any quarrels from me on that because my lock is Toronto team total over 108.5. I mean, let's look at the Suns' totals that they've given up this season on the second leg of a back-to-back. Gave up 120 to the Grizzlies, 108 to the Pelicans, 127 to the Raptors. We just talked about them. 119 to the Rockets, 122 to the Nuggets, 127 to the Blazers, 113 to the Hornets, 115 to the Hornets again, 109 to the Warriors in a game they lost. 115.
Frank Vogel's having such a great time on his couch.
Yeah, dude. Like, it's really, really bad. Most of these totals, only twice has a total come in under 108, and one was exactly 108, the other was 102. So, yeah, I want nothing to do with the Spurs here. Not the Spurs, the Suns here. They've been horrible on the second leg of a back-to-back. They've been horrible all year defensively. I'm backing the Toronto Raptors to go over their team total 108.5. That's comically low for their Phoenix Suns defense.
Separate note, by the way, KZL is mentioning that it's Terry Rozier's birthday. I'm going to be honest here. Since it's Terry Rozier, what do you want us to do with that information? Like, people are calling him the Undertaker. You just called him the Undertaker. I can't take an over on Terry Rozier. He might be.
I mean, he is in Madison. He is in Madison Square Garden on his birthday.
It would be fitting if he was the guy that had the MSG game.
He is in Madison Square Garden on his birthday.
I'm just saying, like, I don't know if I can put enough faith in Terry Rozier to not potentially throw games to bet his props for this one. So I don't know, but I'll tell you what. Thank you for pointing it out to us. I'll tell you that much.
I don't know, man. Maybe he might be betting his overs today.
He might be betting his unders today. I don't know what he's betting. That's the problem.
It's a good point.
The guy's the Undertaker. I mean, come on.
If there was ever a game for you not to take the Undertaker, it's definitely the one against the Knicks in Madison Square Garden.
Can we compromise? Can I bet the over on his turnovers? Can we meet in the middle somewhere?
Has the ball in his hand a lot.
Yeah, he just drops 30, but he turns the ball over 6 times. He throws it into the front row a couple times. Yeah. Like, we'll see. So.
Oh man, dude. I don't know. He might have to hit that over. He's an MSG. Like, come on, he just give you a different superpower. And on your birthday.
Yeah.
For my dog. I would love to go all in on them too. I can't trust Miami to get to. Oh well. Wait. Give me Miami plus 185 in the first half.
Okay.
Mindset: they get this done in the first half, and then they blow the game at the end.
It's fair.
Yeah, Miami Heat plus 185 first half. All right, that's my dog.
I guess my counterpoint would be: would you rather take Heat first half, Knicks full game? Because you can usually get like 5-1 on that. That's kind of why I'm asking.
Yeah, might have to do that, Scott.
Okay. Really I can try to shop and find the best price for you. But I know that if you like the Heat first half and you're picking them to choke, then I feel like it makes sense because you can get Heat first half, Knicks full game at plus 550 on FanDuel.
All right. Love it. Underdog, what are we doing?
But we're not taking Terry Rozier, so that's just not happening. Apologies, Kazil. That's just not going to happen.
All right.
Just saying.
Man.
Do we want Cade in the immediate pissed off game?
Yeah.
The post-ejection game? We probably do.
Just go. Do we go for the scoring or do we go for everything?
Do you want to go for PA and just call him to do whatever he wants?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll do that to start. What else do we want to consider?
Oh, wait. Yeah, nope, never mind. 37.5. Got it.
Okay.
Let's see here. Let me look at the board once again. Do they have a line? Are you going? Yes, they do. Denny Abdia for 20 points. Can he get to 20, Scott?
I think he can.
All right. Denny Abdia higher, 19.5.
I think I'll throw in Jaden McDaniels higher on his 6.5 rebounds. He's been great recently. He's had 8+ rebounds in 3 straight. He had 8 rebounds in the last meeting against Indiana. No Siakam. I think he's got a decent spot. I don't mind McDaniels higher on his 6.5 rebounds.
All right. A little bit of juice there, but we're good. Kate Cunningham higher, 37.5 points and assists. Denny Abdia higher, 19.5 points. Jay McDaniels higher, 6.5 rebounds. 5.64x on Underdog.
Okay.
Make sure you use that promo code NBA SGPN. All right, Scott. Anything else for people before we get up out of here?
Not really. I will not be on the show tomorrow. I'm flying to Vegas tomorrow afternoon. So if you're in Vegas, you could say hi. Might record a tennis podcast in my hotel room. But anyway, point is I'll be in Vegas for the next few days, and I'm looking forward to the tournament.
The man who never stops at Reichel Radio, Matt Really Real __. Make sure you give us a follow. I'll be back here with Lonte tomorrow. Other than that, I have nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way of ending the podcast. Make sure you give us a 5-star rating, review, and like on YouTube.
Wait, by the way, to correct you, I think I'm actually on the show with you tomorrow because Lonte's traveling back from Vegas.
So it's me and you again? Okay.
Yeah, because I'm going Tuesday afternoon, so I think I'm back.
It's me getting my days mixed up, trying to get us closer and closer to the tournament. That's all it is. All right. Yep, that's it. We're out of here.